Ain't nothing peculiar about the way that I was raised, and my arm is on the way.
Hey everybody. Hope everybody is doing wonderful, great, getting rest, the best sleep at night, and all of those beautiful things. Hello, my unicorn warriors. Alright. I had started doing a video between my last order, and my thoughts were kind of together, and then I went to go make my point, and then my thoughts went away. So, alright, y'all. But, okay. So, we're going to talk about, there was a Robbie Harvey video, and what you did great with the timeline. I give it to him for that. Thank you for that, Robbie. But he was talking about how, wait, let me back it up. Who was it that was talking about this? Dang it. Alright, well, whoever it was, I'll find out, I'll add it here. So, talking about Trisha Ross knowing the details of everything and how that's like new information, but it's not. That's something we've known since like the beginning, because remember, even back in my older videos, you know, that was one of the questions I had. And then with Robinson County, and that was something I do remember Robbie talking about, was how he was, I guess, hard on Robinson County and like pretty much shouting them out, telling them they did a good job. But that's always been like my questions, though, is how did everybody know so fast the details? I mean, every little before investigation. And this is talking about Trisha. This is talking about Robinson County, JP Diddy, Susan, everybody that was involved. How did they know? If, like, they knew every step she took, but JP Diddy can never be accounted for. It was just told by Susie and, what's his daddy's name? Reggie. You know, like, oh yeah, he was here on this time and we stopped, got gas, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. Now, these have been my questions from the get-go. Is how did they know? And that was one thing, I guess, that got people's attention with my videos, and how I kind of got started with this, because I mean, it was just these questions, like, and now they're being brought back up as if it's new information, but it's not. It's not new information. This is stuff that I had been asking from the beginning. How did Trisha know? How did the police and law enforcement and everybody and their mama know exactly what happened before an investigation was even done? Y'all remember in the interview with with the fisherman, the interview that, you know, or I wouldn't even say, the conversation when I talked to Johnny, the fisherman. You know, I even asked him, like, well, didn't you find that odd that when you came back from the store and you saw law enforcement, didn't you find that odd that they already knew all the details before an investigation was ever done? And remember, he was like, no, you know, I really wasn't even thinking about that. I got sick on my stomach. Because that is something, I don't know, I just never could wrap my head around that. It's like, okay, she supposedly did what she did, but how do they know? She didn't say her name on the 911 call. They could not ping her location. The 911 operator didn't even know where she was at. And I mean, what's the phone? I mean, y'all, it's not making sense. And remember Trisha talking and, you know, saying all these details and everything.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Napier Field Road.
was not that was something that was spoke about in the beginning. And then was just kind of pushed to the back and forgotten about. I don't know why. But we know that Robinson County, no, they did not do a good job. No, they did not. I have done videos exposing them. If you are a woman, and something happens to you, and it seems to be a common theme with no, don't answer that. I don't know who that is. And it seems
Continue
to be
on Napier
even in
Field
Myrtle
Road
Beach,
for 3/4 of a mile.
and in a lot of places, that if you come up missing or something happens, you know, oh no, it wasn't this. Oh, they unalived themselves, even though they had no hands to do it with. Like, how does that work? Because y'all remember the girl that I talked about in the Robinson County video, that her body was not there when it was searched. But then all of a sudden, when gone back, you know, because the family or somebody starts smelling the smell, oh, her body is magically there. Her hands are magically cut off. All these things. And somehow she did it? How? How? And just like with Mica.
In a 1/4 mile, your destination will be on the right.
And just like with Mica, they want to say that, you know, like she did it, even though the evidence shows it is physically impossible. Her medical exam shows that it's physically impossible that she did that and did it there, if she did do it. So why all this all of a sudden, you know, like, oh, okay, switching your mind, like, oh, you know, yeah, I don't believe she did it, but she did do it. Don't ask why it was pulled, but ask whatever. I mean, it's just physically impossible that none of it I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, how do people know all these details beforehand? Like, how does that work? Can anyone help me wrap my head around that? Because I just don't get it, and it frustrates my brain. And especially when people are coming out saying, oh, this is new information. It's not new information. This is information we have known, and information that I have been screaming from the tops forever now, and just get brushed off. I just don't understand it. All right, I'm back. I know some, like, I just, and like, even the fisherman, you know, he's saying that all these people have all these details. JP Diddy has all of these details. Everybody has all of these details. And how? She didn't say her name on the 911 call. She didn't give any kind of information. And say, let's look at this two ways with the 911 call. The first one being it was her on the 911 call, which at first is what I thought, because it's like, you know, you talk about AI, and yeah, we know AI is everywhere now, and you know, all this, and you know, we hear like Winslow's the AI expert and all of these different things, but I mean, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie, you know, but it's unraveling right in front of us. But say it was her, first scenario, it was her on the 911 call. To me, it sounded forced. And to me, it sounded like she was stalling. It's like when someone calls 911 during a bad situation, but they don't want the person to know that they're calling 911, and they're like, yeah, I want to order a large pizza, or something. And but there's things in there that's like, okay, well, my phone's on. Like, well, yeah, wouldn't your phone be on if you're calling 911? Or, these little tidbits of things, that's like, she's stalling. And then you hear the, like she realizes what's about to happen. Okay, second scenario, it is AI. Which I'm leaning more towards now. But I'm still kind of stuck, because that side just gets me. That after I don't know, but then again, when you hear her voice, and it'd been easy to get her voice, not just because of her singing. You can get her voice from, I'm sure, her voicemail. It was a new phone number. Because remember, JP stole her phone, stole her car. She had to get a new car. It was supposedly the roommate's car that she was in. But somehow, Robeson County pulls up and says, yeah, that's her car. Who's her? Who's her? How do they know? And then at the gas station, I know I'm like going on and on, like jumping different, I don't know. I know y'all say, why don't you do it live or whatever? Well, I can't. It's not that easy. Because I do this stuff in between orders and in between work and in between life. But like the gas station, I finally got the footage, and I need to really sit down one day and get to watching it more. But like, you see the gas station owner, like, say, okay, with the interview with JLR, the gas station owner's like, yeah, it was just a normal day. Yeah, she was, like he knew, like, her everyday movements and stuff, like he knew, like, it was just, I don't know, weird. But you see him, and what I hear is the gas station owner's son watching her. And there's a part where you see the son taking pictures of Mica's car, of the back of her car, like her license plate. And then there's also a spot where the gas station owner gets out. He comes out of the store, gets on the bicycle, goes across the street to what looks like a junkyard or something, goes across the street, gets behind something, waits, and at that time you see it looks like, I don't know, but it looks like a similar truck to JP Diddy's. And this truck comes where the stop sign is, turns around, you hear the truck skirt off, you see a signal being done, and then that guy comes back on the bicycle. So they were stalking her. They were watching her. At the pawn shop, people were watching her. There was a law enforcement guy there that was watching her. One of the main ones that was watching her. And if we go back and look at comments and stuff of when JP Diddy was in the comments, he told us a lot of information. And now you're seeing this stuff coming out, talking about like with Trisha and stuff, and this new information. No, it's not. It's not new. Like, we have heard this from the get-go, and I have been asking, like, how did Trisha know? How did she know? How did the cop that just showed up, I mean literally just showed up, know every single detail? There was no investigation. Okay, they saw a receipt. They saw, you know, I mean, it's like the dispatch call where he says there's a gun in the car. But how's there a gun in the car? Yeah, you could see a gun case, but I mean, that could be any kind of case, really, you know? I mean, could be a lunchbox. She had her lunch made. How did they know? Hey everybody. I was working on a video last night, and in between orders and working and everything, and I didn't get to say my ending, so I wanted to go ahead and say it. So if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Love y'all. Mean it forever. And today I'm 504 months old. So happy birthday.